In our world, there are people we do not see. Their land is unknown. We know nothing about it except that it is buried. It is said that their emergence depends on one condition, a centuries-old excavation. All humans fear their evil. They fought 2 notorious wars and took captives. And now we await the last and bloodiest war, the enigmatic tale of Gog and Magog, a mysterious and terrifying secret that signifies the end of times. Their land has vanished from existence, and its location still baffles scientists and researchers. Some say they are in China, others suggest Japan, and strangely, some do not believe they are human at all, thinking of them merely as nuclear rumors unleashed in the last days. More astonishing is that they have indeed emerged and started wreaking havoc among us unnoticed. Every prediction and search suggests that Gog and Magog represent a bloody nightmare the world fears, dating back to the first age of the Earth before the Ice Ages. In this episode, we will explore: first, the story of Gog and Magog and their connection to Alexander the Great. Secondly, the reason behind their name and their characteristics. Thirdly, their land, the wars they fought, and the legend of their emergence over many years. Lastly, their ultimate destruction. What is the story of Gog and Magog, and why does the world fear them? The story of Gog and Magog dates back to the earliest times of the Earth pre-Ice Ages. They are descendants of Japheth, one of the sons of the prophet Noah. Known for their might and passion for war, they spread corruption across the Earth for many years, leading to their banishment from human traits due to the destruction and terror they caused. No one was able to fight Gog and Magog due to their vast numbers and strength, posing a severe threat to everything, including animals. Yes, animals suffered under their tyranny. After many years, the Earth still bears the scars of their brutality. They moved from one region to another with their formidable army, killing and burning everything in their path until Alexander the Great appeared. It is said in the scriptures that Alexander the Great led a great army with immense strength. During one of his journeys, he met people living near the land of Gog and Magog, believed to be situated behind towering mountains. These people, suffering from the havoc of Gog and Magog, offered Alexander a tribute to rid them of their terror. They proposed building a barrier to separate them. Alexander agreed to help them, but refused the money they offered. He decided to create a dividing barrier between Gog and Magog and the world by isolating them behind a mound, on the condition that they help him with their resources and the natural materials available. Here is what happened in 5 stages. The first stage, it is said that Alexander chose the best point between 2 mountains to erect the barrier. The second stage involved gathering as many stones and melting iron. In the third stage, everything gathered was placed at the designated site until the gap between the mountains was filled. In the fourth stage, Alexander commanded that the barrier be fired until the iron melted and filled all gaps between the stones. In the fifth and final stage, molten copper was poured over the barrier, making it immensely strong. Thus, Gog and Magog were isolated by Alexander, and it is said that despite their strength, they have not been able to breach the barrier to this day. They dug trenches and tunnels in an attempt to escape, even reaching the Earth's core, but to no avail. They remain sealed until the last day. Now, why does the world greatly fear Gog and Magog? The first reason is the reality of their emergence from the barrier that isolates them, and the tales circulating about them have instilled fear in people worldwide. It is said that upon their release, they will overwhelm the Earth with their vast numbers. If the world were to be measured numerically from 1 to 10, the entire population of the Earth would represent just 1 in comparison to the forces of Gog and Magog. According to the narratives, every group or nation that confronts the army of Gog and Magog will be annihilated, bringing darkness to the world for years until their appointed time, which we will detail in this series. What terrifies the world the most is that the appearance of Gog and Magog is linked by religious texts to the major signs of the end times, heralding the end of the world. Now, regarding the naming of Gog and Magog, there are several reasons for their names, and here are the most prominent. The first reason suggests that the names Gog and Magog are of foreign origin from the Hebrew language, Gog and Magog. Because the names are foreign, there is no derivative in English as they are. The second theory proposes that the names Gog and Magog are derived from an ancient term meaning people of the high mountains, referring to peoples living in the distant east and west. The characteristics of Gog and Magog are detailed in religious texts, indicating that they have broad faces, small eyes and noses, and black hair with hints of red. They vary in height, with some as tall as palm trees and others shorter than dwarves. These characteristics closely resemble the people of Eastern Asia, supporting the theory that their name is derived from an ancient term. No one knows the exact location of the land of Gog and Magog. It remains the greatest mystery that many scientists attempt to uncover. According to scholars, the land of Gog and Magog is located west of Kyrgyzstan or near Kazakhstan, in a mountainous region on the border between the two countries in Central Asia. However, there is no conclusive evidence pinpointing the location of Gog and Magog's land to this day. Interestingly, the characteristics of the people living in those regions closely resemble those of Gog and Magog as described in the religious texts, a thought worth considering. After discussing their names, characteristics, and land, let us consider the wars of Gog and Magog and the legend of their emergence many years ago. According to the narratives, the people of Gog and Magog fought 2 bloody wars, and they are now awaiting to engage in their third and most destructive war. The first war of the people of Gog and Magog occurred during the earliest time of the earth, but they were isolated by the leader Alexander. The second war is attributed to their descendants and relatives, who did not move between the mountains. Several years after Alexander's encounter with Gog and Magog to isolate them, the situation changed, and the narrative shifted to the time of the Mongol Empire, specifically during the era of Genghis Khan. According to some researchers, the descendants of Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, originated from the people of Gog and Magog, descendants of Japheth. Interestingly, there is a significant resemblance between the characteristics of the Mongols and those of Gog and Magog, both in physical traits and nature. Genghis Khan also led long and violent wars, killing millions. Yes, the Mongols were also bloodthirsty monsters. The brutality of the Mongols under Genghis Khan's leadership continued for several years until the leadership torch passed to his grandson, who engaged in numerous bloody battles to expand the kingdom and dominate the world aggressively. Given the world's view of the fearsome Mongol army, which reached the borders of the Arab lands killing coldly, it was believed that this opened the way for the people of Gog and Magog to emerge from their isolation. Here comes the decisive event, which suggests that the legend of Gog and Magog may not be entirely accurate. We will provide you with the details. After Gog and Magog spread corruption on earth, 2 brave leaders, Saif al-Din Qutuz and Zahir Baybars, refused to surrender and submit to the overpowering Mongol army. They fought the fierce Battle of Ain Jalut, which, despite its intensity and force, obscured its news, and the sound of swords silenced others. What was the outcome? The entire Mongol army was defeated, and none survived. Their numerous corpses covered a vast area of land. This marked the end of the Mongol era, which some consider an indication that the people of Gog and Magog have not yet emerged onto the surface of the earth, supported by some religious texts that suggest their destruction will take a completely different form. What will the emergence of Gog and Magog look like, and what are the details? Only religious texts provide a glimpse into the nature of Gog and Magog, and the only hope that sustains them until their emergence from the land where they are imprisoned. According to these texts, the people of Gog and Magog reproduce rapidly, and their offspring are countless. It is said that no man among them dies until he leaves behind 1,000 descendants, all of whom bear arms. The people of Gog and Magog have a leader to whom they adhere. Every morning they dig at the barrier that Alexander isolated them with, attempting to break it and emerge into the world. At sunset, they stop digging and postpone it to the next day, only to find the barrier stronger and more intact than before. Thus, this process repeats daily until the appointed day of the last day, the day they are allowed to emerge. On this day, when they stop digging, their leader tells them to return tomorrow, and with the help of God, they will break through. They return the next day to find it unchanged, signaling their imminent emergence and the approaching end of times. Only the emergence of Gog and Magog is linked to the major signs of the end times. Before we talk about the destruction of the people of Gog and Magog, today we present this intriguing story about their numbers after their emergence into the world. The story goes that despite their vast numbers, they will head to drink from a large lake, and by the time the last of them arrives, not even a single drop of water will remain. Yes, the lake will dry up entirely. Where will they go and what will their end look like? After the people of Gog and Magog emerge from the barrier, they will spread evil and corruption on the earth, unimaginable to the human mind. They will instill terror in the hearts of all people, regardless of their differences. According to religious texts, the world will turn to God Almighty to deliver them from this immense evil. He will respond to them and send a worm that emerges from their heads, killing them all. Yes, all of them. Thus this terrifying mystery ends. Here it is worth mentioning the theory that challenges the nature of Gog and Magog. Despite religious texts clearly indicating that the people of Gog and Magog are human, some researchers and scientists associate them with other matters, such as technological advancements, environmental issues, viruses, or even nuclear rumors, speculating that these issues will be the cause of the world's demise. No one knows. With this, we have presented to you the story of Gog and Magog, which still preoccupies the world. We have explored various opinions regarding their names, their land, and even their reality. What do you think? Are there individuals among us secretly descended from them? And are we witnessing a third deceptive war with them before the emergence of their ancestors, Gog and Magog? Or are they truly not human? And is the current corruption on Earth due to technology and scientific errors a sign of the end times? Think about this. These are the people of Gog and Magog, and knowledge about them belongs to God. I await your comments below. So far, these interpretations are the closest to the story and reality of the people of Gog and Magog. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe and see you in the next video.